Welcome to Shu Dialect, teaching everyday English, discussing everyday issues. Hi, my name is Daphne, your TEFL mentor, here to teach you English as a second language. Today's topic is the next James Bond. So to start with, I have here for you some fun facts about James Bond. Firstly, the films are based on books written by a writer called Ian Fleming. The books were largely published in the 1950s. That time in history was just after World War II, so there was a lot of interest in spy storylines. The books were adapted to film in 1962. The first movie was called Dr. No in 1962. British actor Sean Connery was the first to play Bond at the time. Now, for those of you learning English with me, I have highlighted two words in green. The first one is published, simply meaning the books were given out to sell to the public. Adapted, meaning the story was taken to turn it into a movie. Moving on, we now have two classic Bond actors on screen. On the left-hand side is Roger Moore. On the right-hand side is Sean Connery. Now, Sean Connery, as I said just now, he was the first to play James Bond in the 1960s, and he made it very popular. Roger Moore, on the other hand, he got to play Bond in the late 1970s. Today, in the present day, there is always a discussion as to who has been the best James Bond actor. For me personally, I would say the best is Roger Moore. And growing up in my house, he was always the favourite. And I love his movie, The Spy Who Loved Me, especially. And my mum, she just loves Roger Moore. It was her favourite. So I've always had that mindset, really. But both, fantastic. The choice of actors for the next Bond movie is really very different from anything we have had up until recent. So you can see here, I have 7 actors for you on screen, and not all of them are the typical native white British you expect to play Bond, usually. And 1 or 2 of them is unlikely to be chosen and a long shot, but I always say never. So, number 1 is Henry Golding. The first picture, top left, he is half Malaysian, half British, so as a man of colour, is potentially going to be the first ethnic minority to play Bond if he's chosen. Next to him, number 2 is Michael Fassbender. He is an Irish actor from here in the UK. In the middle is Ricky Whittle, again as a black actor, a minority, so a step forward in evolving the Bond character. And other black actors like Idris Elba, in particular, has been considered. Personally, I don't think Idris would get it. I could be wrong, but nevertheless, Ricky Whittle is a really good talent. He was acting in a TV soap drama called Hollyoaks, but now in Hollywood. On the right next to him is Tom Hardy, atypical English, really good talent. Next to him on the end is Henry Cavill, another Henry. Good looking, clean cut, easily could do Bond. Bottom left is an actor called Reza Jaffrey, again Asian. So of Asian descent, he would be another candidate as a minority. Last, bottom right, is Richard Blackwood. He is the wild card long shot, actually a comedian turned actor, been in the public eye since the late 90s, and his stepsister is actually Naomi Campbell, the model. Alongside her, he has been in showbiz a very long time, so I think he could handle the fame well, famous in his own right, besides the stepsister. So a long shot, but I like him. For me, if I had to choose one of those actors to play Bond in the next movie, it would have to be Henry Cavill. And the reason why I say this is because I get the impression his personality and character is as close as to James Bond's character in the films. And you can see here that he is really good looking, he is clean cut and really classy. He has all the qualities to take the role, 100%, I would say. And I would even go as far as to say that he was born for it. It suits him right down to a T. And I would call him a distinguished gentleman. For those of you learning new English words with me today, I have a list here on screen that you can write down, make a note of, and go and look up the words in the dictionary if you're not sure of any meanings. So, all of the words here are adjectives, except for the word gentleman, that is a noun. And an adjective is simply a word to describe something or someone. So, we have iconic, classic, brave, gentleman, the only noun on the list, stylish, dapper, quintessential, and heroic. Now, the word dapper simply means his fashion is smart and clean cut. If you are referring to James Bond, his fashion is smart and clean cut. Quintessential, meaning he is a typical image, but special. Heroic, meaning he does whatever he can to save and rescue. So I've highlighted the meanings in green. Any of the other words that you are not sure of, please go ahead and look them up. So now we can move on to the next stage. The most recent Bond actor, of course, is Daniel Craig. He has done 5 007 movies up to date. His final one was just out last year in 2021 called No Time to Die, and now he is finished. Finally, I will leave you with these classic clips and images taken from a number of James Bond films in recent years, as you can see. So in the middle here, we have the actor Timothy Dalton. He was James Bond twice in the 1980s, and this is taken from License to Kill, one of his movies back then. Pretty lady in the picture, Carey Lowell. Top left is Pierce Brosnan as James Bond in the 90s. This is 1997. Terry Hatcher, this lady here, in the movie Tomorrow Never Dies. Top right is my favourite, of course, Roger Moore in A Spy Who Loved Me. The other images below are just of Daniel Craig of recent No Time to Die. Thank you so much for watching today. I want you to keep on practicing your English using the vocabulary that I've taught you today for those of you learning English with me. And look up anything that you are not sure of. Be sure to like and subscribe below. You can check out my other tutorials on topics that you can discuss to further develop your English also on this channel. Do come back. Take care and have a good day.